Our next guest loves to cook, especially on the weekends when she can relax, unwind, and create something that fills the house with the goodness of fall flavors. Lori Greene, the owner of Elizabeth Richard Gifts, is located in Waterbury. She's one of our favorite guests and joins us here on the show. Nice to have you here, Lori.
Oh, thank you very much, Teresa, and I love being here.
So what's on the menu today? I know this recipe started off as a blizzard meal, right?
It did. I came across this recipe one time in a catalog of all places, and I decided to make it during the October blizzard, that freaky October blizzard. Yeah. And it's been a staple in the household ever since. It's red wine braised short ribs. And it's a really simple recipe. It looks very complicated when you plate it all up, but really it's very simple to make.
Okay.
What I did was I took some short ribs and I just dusted them lightly with flour, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna fry them or brown them up in a little bit of olive oil. And just brown them on all sides if you can.
Okay.
And while those are browning, I've got some vegetables over here that we chopped up. We've got some celery, some carrots, we've got thyme, we've got some garlic, and we've got shallots. You could always use onions too, or leeks even. I was thinking about that this weekend when I was afraid I didn't have a shallot for today. But all you want to do is add about twice as many carrots as you have celery. And you want to give it a dice. I mean, not a really fine dice. You just want to make sure that it's small enough so that you don't need a knife at the end of the meal.
Okay. Because I bet this falls right off the bone, doesn't it?
It does. It's so good. And you can serve it in a variety of ways, Teresa. It's such a great dish. Today we're going to serve it over creamy polenta, but you can also serve it over mashed potatoes. You can serve it over noodles, certainly. And you can also serve it over like risotto or rice, whatever you've got.
Lots of options. I love it.
And couscous as well. If you've got some nice Israeli couscous, some of the larger bean couscous. And anyhow, so now next we're going to take our shallot and we're going to take...
So you're using the same pot?
Yes, you can use...
Let's talk about this pot too.
This is one of my go-to pans in the kitchen. I do a lot of things in this. This is a Le Creuset Dutch oven, and we fry right in it. I've made fried chicken in the thing. Actually, it's really good for fried chicken because then your grease doesn't splatter all over the place. But you're browning your meat in it. You're taking all of your aromatics and you're going to soften those up in it. So really, when you think about it, not only is this an easy meal to prepare, but it's also an easy meal to clean up after.
I like that. Can that even go in the oven also?
It can. It can go from stovetop to oven. You can put it right in the refrigerator.
And it comes in so many fun colors too,
It does. It comes in great colors. I like this blue. This is I think this is Marseille blue that I've got here. I've got a nice big green one at home too. So it's a great addition to your kitchen. And right now, if you come into the shop, we'll give you 25% off any Dutch oven.
I love it.
Because it will be perfect for your fall cooking, trust me.
Right through Columbus Day, right?
Right. So all we're going to do, we're going to just soften up our vegetables. We've got our celery, our shallot, and our carrot in there. And then when that's all softened, after a couple of minutes, we're going to add our garlic. And Teresa, I absolutely am crazy about fresh garlic.
Okay.
I will not buy the garlic in the grocery store. It just isn't the same. So try to seek out at a farmer's market. They are still going on. Get yourself some fresh garlic and you will, trust me, you'll taste the difference.
Okay.
And
take your word on it, Lori.
We're going to add some thyme to that as well. And this is all going to soften up. And once that's softened, we're going to add our short ribs back in.
Okay. Well, this is fairly easy.
It is. And then we only have like 3 more things to add, and we're all good. We're going to add about a half of a cup of beef broth. And you can just use canned beef broth. That's not a problem. You don't have to go and make your own. You're also going to use about 3/4 of a cup of red wine.
Hence the name, right?
Yes. When cooking with red wine, Teresa, please use red wine or white wine for that matter that you would drink. You don't want to put in like the old crummy wine that you've had sitting around.
Prime, sure.
You want to cook with things that you would actually drink because that's going to affect all the flavors in the pan as well. In addition to the wine, we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I love the tomato paste in the tube that I got in my local grocery store because I don't have an open can that I'm scratching my head saying, what am I going to do with this now? And then the very last thing I'm going to add is this nifty spice called Aleppo Pepper. And it took me years to find this. The first 2-3 years I made this recipe, or first 2 years rather, I didn't know where to find this stuff. I searched all over the place for it.
What
I finally found it. It's like a Syrian,
unique.
it's a Middle Eastern spice, and I found it up in West Hartford, a little spice shop. So you might have to go outside your comfort zone and find your ingredients, but once you find them, you're going to thank yourself. So now we've got all of that going. I'm going to give it a little stir. I'm going to put the lid on it, and then I'm going to let it go on low for about 4 to 5 hours.
And you leave it right on the stove top.
You can leave it right on the stove. You can put it into the oven. You can also adapt this to the crock pot as well.
I was going to ask you, I'm a big fan of the crock pot.
Think about it. After you've browned your meat, all you have to do is take all of those ingredients that we just went through and put them right into the crock pot, put the lid on, and put it on low while you're at work. So it's really a very, very easy and adaptable recipe.
I like the sound of that. And we were going to serve it with polenta, you said, which is
Today we're going to serve it with polenta, yes. And so I've got my water boiling, and once we're all set to plate it up, we're going to cook it up because polenta is very quick, very easy, and you always want to serve it nice and fresh.
very good. Why don't you give us an overview of the shop in case people haven't checked it out?
It's
fabulous.
They've got to come into. Thank you, Teresa. They've got to come into the store. It's about 4,500 square feet, and we've got everything for the way you live your life, and that is our tagline. And it is so true. We've got everything from baby gifts to jewelry. We've got some ladies' accessories. We've got some clothing as well.
Stationary invitations.
Stationary invitations. You know, I love to write thank you notes and correspondence.
Yes, that's right.
And then we've got a great variety in the kitchen. We've got wonderful knives and pots and pans, and we've got china, crystal. We've got everything you need.
You do. One-stop shopping. And I know you have a sale also coming up.
We do. We have a great Columbus Day sale coming up on Monday, which is Columbus Day, October 14th. From 9 to 6, we are having a great sale, 30% off just about the entire store. There are a couple of exceptions, and you can find more information on our Facebook page.
All right. And your website, which is?
Our website is ElizabethRichardGifts.com. Elizabeth and Richard are both singular.
There you go. And of course, the information's up there on the screen. It's right off exit 17 on the Middlebury Waterbury line, 203-754-GIFT, or there's the website as well. Lori, we're going to dig into this at the end of the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Teresa.
All right, up next, author Katherine Gibson talks about the inspiration for her award-winning children's books when style returns.